Okay, in this video we're gonna demonstrate the basics of Cyborg here. I'm gonna start with the subdivision things, and of course you have some menus here for the file, viewing, creation, and you have an object, reverse engineering editing, and the prep editing. But for today we are talking about this menu specifically, which is the creation menu. So I have my creation tools here. One of them is the box thing, and as you can see I have some data entering here, well, like length, width, height, segments, and the rest of the things. For this one, maybe we're gonna keep it 3 like this, and you can change the position and some kind of these things, and I'm gonna accept it. And let me just change this color. You go to object, application settings, color things, and go ahead and change it maybe to any brighter color. Let's say this one. Okay, now give me the sub-D mode. So I have the 3 modes here: the box mode, and the sub-D mode, and the cage mode. I prefer to work with the box mode at beginning, and then if I need to see something, I'm going to the sub-D mode, and it depends on what do you want actually. Okay, so in this area right here we have my selection filters. So my selection filters here, you can access it from this side menu, or simply right click and you're gonna see all the selection filters you need. So select any edge loop, edge ring, face ring, and faces and edges and vertices. So it's by default set to select any, which is the faces and vertices and the edges, and that's actually the preferred one while working. But you can select also face ring. You can select the face rings like this, or even the edge ring from this side or this side, and of course the edge loop. You can select our edge loop like that. Okay, so we have something here also called stop at corners. So what it does is when you select something like this, opened, let me just open this surface like this with the box mode. So you can see now when it's selecting the edge loop, you can see it's just selecting the fully loop like that. And if I set stop at corners, you select to the corners only, so you can just extrude it like that if you want from this side, and you don't have to select the full like this. So it's preventing it to just get the full loop. I've been able to select only this area. Okay, now we can also use this one here. It's called continuous selection, which is when you select the face selection filter, you're gonna see it helping you sometimes if you want to select multiple faces quickly. Okay, also have selection tools here. You can select all from this icon here, or pressing on Control A, which is going to be also doing the same thing. And the second thing here is reverse the selection. So inverse selection icon here, what it does, it's just inverting you the faces selection you actually clicked on. Now while modeling something, we are getting to know what exactly the most things that you're gonna use. Okay, so let's just first remove the continuous selection and stop out corners for a sec. And let's say I'm just going to extrude something like this, and let's make a bevel here. So I'm holding an AK now and just going inside, so that's how you beveling. I have this little guy here for our creasing, So I'm gonna click on it, and you're gonna notice it's just giving me a circle on the top of the gizmo. You can see here it's changing the parameter of decreasing thing while I'm just moving up and down. And if you go to the sub-D mode, you can see I'm just changing how much crease I'm adding. So let's say this one gonna be 80, and I'm gonna hold the AK again and bevel inside and crease again, extrude and crease. So it's just that simple. Okay, so now from this thing here, I can select the faces, also doing the same thing, which I could even go to 100 crease, so that is now very flat sharp edges. Okay, same things could be done on the edges here. So I can select these edges, and I'm gonna go to maybe 70 and move it a little outside like this. And here comes our next icon, which is gonna be the mirror section. So I can go to the mirror icon here. First, I'm gonna activate my box mode or control mode and hold the A key. You can see I can insert an edge loop, one on the center right here. I can select the edge loop, select it, and make sure it's just flat on the x-axis. So I'm gonna pick this arrow here, hold it and move it until it's just maybe exactly flat. So when it's just exactly flat, you're gonna notice the arrow is not there anymore, which means it's perfectly flat. You can do it also with another way, which is selecting the edge like this. We get the view again, you're gonna see it's not correctly flatted with the x-axis. So go to align and flatten on any axis you want. In this case here, I'm gonna flatten on the x-axis, so you can see it's now fully flat. Okay, now from here I'm gonna select any from my selection filters, and I'm gonna delete this section of it. Now I have a half. I can select any edge from this half and go to mirror. Now this part is symmetrical and I can work on it. You can see now it's just doing anything I need on the other half. Okay, now let's insert some edges. I have insert edges icon here. I can pick it and I draw on my sub-D. Let's say I'm gonna do something like this, like this, like this, like this. Okay, you're gonna see it's gonna be also on the other way. Let's just make the same insert edges above it like this. You can do it with holding the A key, which is gonna follow the inserting edges I just did, and from here it's gonna follow also this one, so you can see it's just taking the shape of the nearest edge here. However, I can also get something on the middle. I'm gonna select my constraint move like this, and I'm gonna move my edges with the arrow like that, so it's gonna give me a very flat edge. You can do it again until it's just perfectly flat, depending on what I'm actually need. Okay, then I need to delete these things. Right click, delete, or I can use the delete key from my keyboard. Okay, so let's select this guy right here, and I'm going to crease a little, maybe 45, then beveling it like this, go inside a little, crease again, bevel again, something might be like this. Okay, let's just close this one here. I have a couple of ways to do this. I can insert an edge loop right here and select this guy and make like an extrusion like that, and go to the mirror section, select this one on mirror. So now it's just gonna be on the mirror. Now I'm gonna select this one and extrude them like this, and it's gonna be the same thing. Go to mirror, press on mirror. Now you're gonna see we have an open edge. To fix that, I'm just gonna select these two vertices like this and right click. You can do a merge vertices, so it's now turned into black, which is main, it's closed. The same thing on here. You can select these two vertices. It's actually two vertices, but you can see it like this. Now selecting the two of them, right click and merge vertices. If I needed to go to the other way, I should select this one first. So this one first, then this one. That's gonna mean inverse on the merge, so it's gonna merge to the other side. Now that's how you close it like this. Now the other way is go to the mirror, unify the mirror, select this edge loop and quad fill. Now you're gonna see just simple line. You're gonna need to insert it. So you're gonna insert edges and boom, boom, boom. Also gonna make sure it is fully flat to the x-axis like this, and that's how you close it in two ways. And then go to this line again, mirror, and select the mirror again, so it's gonna be mirrored. Now let's just go to subdue mode for a second, and you're gonna see I need to crease this full faces. So selecting them all, and I can right click, use crease. So now it's just fully creased. However, might use a little bit less creasing here, so it giving me like good fade or good transitioning between them. Alright, now let's insert some loop edges right here. So we just now know a little about some of the icons at the top here. We just tested the extrude, and so insert loops, offset loops, which is the beveling. Okay, so in another example here, we've got some messy edges, and the next tool is especially for the very close segments or vertices like this. When you got some messy vertices and edges, rather than just go ahead and move it with your hand manually like this, we have some tool called relax selected. The faces you just wanted to relax here, maybe those, and click on relax selected, so it's just giving you some relaxation to the nodes. We've also got something interesting on the alignment. So if you can see here, we use the flatten on the x-axis and y and z axis, and we've got something also called align linear, align parallel, and coplanar. Let's test them. Maybe on here, this side. So let me select maybe these four edges, maybe rotate them a little like this, and I'm gonna need to change this angle too. Okay, and I'm gonna select these two edges like this, and I need them to be parallel, so I'm gonna go to align and align parallel, and as you can see, they are going to be parallel to each other. One of the benefits, like we talked before, for the constrained move that I can move my points without changing the shape. So as you can see, I'm just moving freely anywhere, and it's just moving the nodes along the surface. Okay. Now, one of the best ones I prefer here is align coplanar. So for an example to this one, let's say this one right here. I'm gonna select this faces, and I can go to align coplanar. So as you can see, just made me a flat surface without affecting the angle of it. You can also do it on the same here. Select the multi-face mode and just go around like that and align. Let me just change the angle slightly. Align and align coplanar. So as you can see that. And then you can also just change the angle slightly like this to get the desired shape. Okay. We've got also align linear, which is when we have something like this, not straightly visible like that, it's not straight, I can go align and align linear, which is gonna give me a linear line, as you can see here. Okay, and then with my deform tools, I can go to bend this one from this side to this side, and you can also bend it like this. Now let's go to tools menu. Let me just delete this one, and I'm gonna create a new box, make a couple extrudes, and let me go to tools menu. So the first thing you can see here on the left is subdivide all. So if you just press on it, I can subdivide my whole body. And we can also subdivide selected faces. So when I go to tools while selecting some faces, I can go to tools, and you're gonna see subdivide selected is available now. When I just press on it, I can only subdivide the selected faces. I can do it one more time. So as you can see, okay, so now I can just undo this. All right, now we've got also edge chamfer. Once I press on these edges, I can go to tools, edge chamfer. I can control the relative widths with this increase segments right here, or even this snapper right here. Okay, I can also use multiple edges like this, tools, edge chamfer, and go with my arrows like that. Okay, now we've got also planar slicer. If I just go to the top view like this, I'm gonna go to tools, planar slice. Let's say I want to slice it from here to here, so that's gonna give me clean slice right like this. Can do it again, maybe like this, slice from here to here. Okay, so once we get to this one, I can actually make a cut here. So I can go to my edge loop, select this edge slice I did, and go to sewing and unsew, which is gonna make this part separated like those are cutted. Right now, in this case here, I could also make these solids. So in tools, we have something like thickness. I can go thickness this part right here once I select it, and the distance is from here. I can increase it Probably this part is very big, so maybe 50 millimeters. So you can see the thickness here, and this is essentially now is a solid one. Okay, so what if we need to close the other body? I can easily go to my edge loop, select this edge loop, and quad fill. Okay, so you can see with the subdivide mode, this is very smooth edges. I can go select these three faces and right click, increase them to 100 like this. So you can see now we've got one thickness set and one is solid. Once I convert it, you're gonna see now I have one solid and one is shelled here. Right, let's go back again to edit, and we've got also flip faces. I can select any faces and flip them, rather selected faces or even all faces. So I can flip all faces, so you can see they are flipped, and I can go back and undo, right. Push faces is this one. It's gonna act like the copy one. So I'm gonna go to tools, push faces. Now that's how much you wanna push it. You can accept this, just move this around like that. You can see it's the same, like it's a copy, and it can just control it like this, and do whatever I want here. Now one of the tools you're gonna need to try it also, and it is the detailing. So we've got here some kind of levels of details. So the base level is this one currently we are in, and we've got also the level 1 and the level 2. Okay, so every time you go to next level, it's gonna be more subdivided. So let's try it at level 3. Okay, so in level 3 I can go probably select some faces like this, and let's get outside a little like that, and maybe giving it like this angle, and the same on here. Okay, and then I'm gonna go to detail again, make it the base level. You can see we've got our detail we just added without any subdivision. So when I move this one for an example, you're gonna see it's like individual with the surface. Now we could go to detail number 3 again, and let's say I need to change something here, maybe like this. Okay, so once I go to detail and go to the base level, you can see here it's there. And if I just change it, this area right here, we are keeping our guy here, so it doesn't affect the details you added. What about deleting this details? And it could be done, go to details, remove whether declare all levels or remove from selected. So let's say I only need to remove this one only and keep the other. So I'm gonna go to details and remove from selected. Okay, so you can see it's gonna keep the other, but removing what I selected. Let's say this one too, detail, remove from selected. And we can also go to remove or clear all levels, so you can see it's back again to what it was. Now the last time we just unsealed the edge from here. So as you can see, that's an unseal. I can just move it to anywhere like that, and the sealing is the opposite thing. So I can just go close my guy here to the points like this, and I'm gonna select the both of the edges and go to sealing and press on seal. Okay, so the sealing strength, when you just go ahead and increase it, it's gonna catch the other vertices and seal it together. It could be also done here. The sealing, unseal, and as you can see, you can select the both edges, sealing, and increase the length a little, and it's done like that. Now let's get to one of the coolest thing we got here on Cyborg. So if I go to any plane here, let's say this plane, and I'm gonna need to insert a circle here. Go to bar dimension, let's say this circle here is 200 diameter. Okay, now I'm gonna right click and extrude this sketch. Let's say any distance like this, accept it. So I've got this circle cylinder right here, and I'm gonna go to creation menu, get my box, you can see here, and I'm gonna accept it. Go to sub-D mode and just okay. Now let's say we're gonna scale it up a little and delete this guy, and probably I wanna subdivide this surface, all of it, and then I'm going to select this tool or this body here, this body as a reference. So I'm going to go to reference, import geometry, and I'm going to select this face, accept it. Now this face is totally a reference. I can use my sub-D edge right here, and I can go to constrain it to faces, edges, vertices, and this time I'm gonna go to edges. So what you're gonna see now is fully constrained to this diameter of the circle. Now I can actually also add any loop cuts and change the way how this thing looks. So let's say we're gonna do something like this, and I can go activating my creasing ring, and maybe something here too. Okay, now I can override this constraint, go to the tangency and tangency type here. So the tangent match gonna give you a tangent surface like this, or in this case I'm gonna use perpendicular, which is gonna make some nice transition between the diameter and my sub-D. Now right click to activate it or to accept, and then we could actually manipulate my surface here. Okay, now when I just convert it, I'm checking the combine objects and end editing, and you're gonna see that I can hide my extrusion, go to section view, cut away, to see that I have fully solid. I can use the x-axis or the z-axis, and as you can see it's fully solid. And I can go also and change my subdivide, so we can edit. Let's say I'm gonna do this, extrude, crease, maybe add some loop cuts right here. Something like this. Okay, now I can convert it, and it's updating it. So now let's do the opposite thing. I want to go to my circle. Let's edit my circle here. I say this diameter is gonna be maybe 140.